How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing great. I am doing good. My name is Nadia, and this video is going to be about knitting and some crocheting. And I'm going to share some of my objects that I made this year and a couple last year. I believe I have some. No, I think all of them were made this year. So everything that I made so far starting this year. I don't have anything from last year. It's been a while since I made one of these videos, but I'm so excited to make another video. So if you are a knitter, a crocheter, or a crafter, just like watching people make clothes, socks, hats, and other things, you're more than welcome to stick around and spend a little bit of time with me. Hopefully this won't be long. I'm gonna try to do it under an hour. That's how much time I have, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm very, very excited to share some of my finished objects with you because this one is big. The one that I'm wearing. I've made cable sweaters before. So this is my new one that I started this year. Did I start this year? I'm trying to remember if I started last year and finished this year, or did I start this year? I can't remember. I think I did put it in my notes on my Ravelry page. I made a project page for this one. I didn't put any finished photos in there yet, and I don't have a lot of details. I think I only have like when I started and the yarn I used. So let's first start with the yarn I used, if I could find it. I got a big mess over here with all my works in progress in here. I just brought them all out of my room out of the basket and bags, and I put them in here. So this yarn right here, I ordered from the website Hobby. It's Hobbii, and it's called Woody Tweed. And it's 100% recycled fibers. So it is 70% recycled wool and 30% recycled viscose, which makes it really soft too, and woolly. It's really nice yarn. So it came in big 100 gram balls. This one is not 100 grams anymore. This is what I have left over. So it's tweedy. There's dark tweeds in there. And I think there's also like orangey tweeds. So it's not all kinds of different colors. It's just like dark, maybe black, brown, nothing black. I don't know. And then there's a little bit of orange, but it's probably going to be hard to see orange. But this ball was pretty big, so it's 100 grams, and it was, so for 100 grams, it was 350 meters, 382 yards. And oh my goodness, I got a lot, like I got 3 balls of this yarn, and I have a lot left, enough for a hat. I'm going to make a hat out of this. So I have enough for a hat. Might make it for my nephew, because it's not a scratchy yarn at all. I like it. After it washes, it even softens up more. So now let me show you the sweater. I shared the yarn. I'm going to move the thing over a little bit. So this is it. And I'm sure you've seen a similar pattern to this. I did not follow a pattern. Sorry, I got closed there. I did not follow a pattern. I just followed inspiration on Instagram. And I'm not going to mention the name of the designer, but maybe I should. I don't know. I got inspired, and I wanted to make a cable, all over cable sweater with the V-neck, because I really like that style with the big giant chunky red V-neck. And it took me about 3 weeks to do it. because I wanted to get it done and wear it this winter. So it has cables everywhere. This cable is like a 1x1 cable right here, and this one is, I think this one's 3x3, and this, or 4x4, might be a 4x4. I think this might be 8. Yeah, so 4x4 cable. This one is a braid, which you do 2 twists at a time, but there's like actually 3 cables that you turn. So you do one side and then you do the second side, and it turns into this braid looking one. So this one's 2x2, and it's pretty much, let me stand up. It's not cropped. It's pretty long. These are really high-waisted jeans though, but it goes under my hips. I tuck it in my pants because the band stretches a little bit, and I love the way that the sleeves turned out. The band is not cinching it in or like making it like the elastic key. So it's just a flat 2x2 rib. And I did start on the back. As you can see, I have you could see a little seam right there, right? Yeah, you could see it. Excuse me. And so I started by doing the short rows up here, the back. So I knitted the back up to here. And then I picked up the stitches on both sides and knitted 2 separate sides. Then I attached them here and just knitted it in the round until I liked the length of it. I think I finished one sleeve before I finished the body, and then I did another sleeve. And the first sleeve took me a bit longer, I think. The second sleeve took me faster because I had the whole entire thing done. All I had to do was the sleeve, and I was excited to wear it. And I think the next day, that night I finished it, I blocked it, and the next day I was able to wear it. And it dried pretty fast. So yeah, it's really nice. It's cozy. It's a bit oversized. Not too oversized, but it's about, I'd say 3 inches positive ease. If you pinch it like this, this is where my body is, and then you get a little bit. Yeah. So I have this much left. I'm gonna make a hat out of it. And yeah. So I do like this yarn. I do like it. It does not peel. No, I'm lying now. It did peel a little bit. I did wear a lot. This has been worn a lot. Since I made it, I wear a couple of days, and then I put it away because I didn't want to wear it out too much. This is a lot of work. But it doesn't peel. Maybe a teensy bit, as you can see a little bit. I don't know. But I don't count it as peeling. So the sleeves are a bit fitted right here, so they're not really oversized up here. I should have made the hole a little bit longer. But I like it because I can wear a jacket on top of it. You know, I can wear a jacket with my sweater, and it's absolutely fine. The sleeves up here are a bit oversized, but that's okay. I did do a bit of decreasing up here on this big pearl line. I didn't do, this was not 100% because I do have a knit panel here and then the pearl panel here, so it's not 100%. But who's gonna ever know? Nobody will know. And it's right here, and it's cozy, it's soft, it's so soft. I could wear it 24/7 and never take it off, but I do take it off because I don't want to wear it out. So you can see I didn't do the best job of picking up the stitches for my neck band. You could see a little bit. It's not 100%. It doesn't look as neat as I wanted to. But I do sometimes just wear a shawl. And I'm sure people who, I don't know if anybody cares or notices. When I showed it to my husband, he said nothing about it. And he usually does sometimes point out the mistakes that I make. And that's okay. He said nothing, so it's fine. So there you go. That was my first sweater of this year. I'm very excited because I have a plan of what I want for this year. And yeah, this was my first one of this year. I like this yarn a lot. I ordered it and it came pretty fast, and I was gonna wait to start it, but I couldn't wait because I knew that's what I wanted to do with that yarn. And yeah, the price was really good. I can't remember exactly what the price is, but I'll put a link down and then it'll have the price of it and everything. But I got it on sale, so it might be a bit more than what I paid for. Okay, I'm gonna move on to another one. So this was all hand knitted. I used 4mm needles for this, even though this is a, I would say, is it sport weight yarn? I think so. I think so because it's 100 grams for 350 meters. But I used 4mm needles, and the gauge is pretty good. It's not really loose. I think it's just perfect. You can see, and it's really nice for cables. I mean, the cables look pretty good on this yarn. All right, here's another one. I have socks. I have made these on my knitting machine because I am hand knitting a pair just like this, but I wanted to kind of like see what they would turn out like. So I wanted to make it on my knitting machine because I wanted to make something, but I didn't know what. So I decided to make a pair of socks. Like always, the easiest thing. It takes the less amount of time. And yeah, because sweaters take longer. So I just want to do something quick. So what I did is I cast on, I think 60 stitches, and then I knitted with so this yarn is Heritage sock yarn, and this one is another sock yarn that I got from a sock club from, I can't remember the website, but I only got the yarn twice, I think, and then I canceled the subscription. And I can't remember, this is another sock yarn, can't remember the color, but it was in the summer that they sent it out. I'll see if I can share where I got it from. I'm sure, I don't know if you can get it again. So I did a little bit of a color coming out, and then I know the colors don't go together at all. I do not like the colors together at all, but it's okay. I had what I had and I wanted to try, and I did a folded folded cuff, and then I did 6 rows of this color, 4 rows of this color, 6 rows of colors. Then I did 3x1 rib just to give a little inch, and then I did a short row heel, which this one has a hole in it. I forgot to pick up the stitch. This one doesn't have a big hole in it, but maybe a little bit, but I did pick up a stitch. There's certain things I could do. And then I just did extra rows and the toe in that color, but I don't like the brown color with it at all. Kind of looks ugly, but it's okay. I think my daughter likes these. They are a bit big for her. She is in shoe size 3. She's 9 years old, but I'll give them to her. She loves them. She loves my hand knit socks a lot, and my machine knit socks. And I don't make these in a round. I do sew the seam on the side, and it doesn't seem to bother her at all. It doesn't seem to bother me at all, and it doesn't seem to bother my dad, because I made socks for my dad at all. So the seam doesn't bother anybody when you wear the socks. I make them. Almost all of my socks that I knit on knitting machines with the seam, because it's easier that way, just to knit them flat and then seam them, because if you're knitting in the circle, sometimes the side stitches will drop or not knit all the way, and it's always a hassle, and it takes longer time to knit. Excuse me, something's with my throat. So there's my second one that I made. I'm gonna put it over here. Okay, so all my finished objects are in just such a neat pile right here, but then all my work progress is in a big mess over there. Excuse me for that. I will put it away nicely when I'm done with this. I just had to put it all on my bed and see what I all had, and instead of putting it back in the bags, I just left it out. So here's another little thing I made. It's a little hood for my 5-year-old. She doesn't like it when I say 5-year-old. She's 5.5. A little hood I made on my knitting machine with this yarn that I ordered from Etsy. I don't remember the color. I don't know if they're gonna have any more. I don't think they have any more of it, but I'll share the store with you if you guys would like to go check some of this yarn out, because this was on sale. Really, really, really good price for a hand dyed yarn, and it turned out so beautiful. I just love how variegated it is and how the colors are all spread out evenly. It's not pooling, but it looks so even. So this was made on my knitting machine on a flatbed. No ribbing here at all. I did it sideways like this. So I started up here. I did a little bit of short row. I don't know if I should have done that. Probably not. But it gives her a little bit of space for a neck, like a little scarf. She likes it. She wears it. This is 100% superwash merino wool, by the way. Fingering weight. And it's a little tiny hood. She wore it today when there's a little tiny bit of snow on the ground. And I let them go out and play a little bit. So yeah. So this turned out really cute. I don't know if I should put it on. Ugh, it's small for me. Looks cute on her, like ridiculous in it. But like the colors. She loves the colors. The speckly, beautiful, different colors. I like this yarn a lot. So this was another one I made not too long ago. Here's one I'm excited about. Here's a beret I made. A red beret. I wanted to make one. I wanted to make a hat. The hat didn't work. And then I decided to make a beret. Also on my knitting machine, because hand knitting would have took forever. And I wanted it, but I didn't want to knit it. So this is made with good wool from Pearl Soho. The color is Roma Tomato. So I remember that one. I have the tag. And it is 383 yards for 100 grams. Really good yarn. It is wool, 100% wool. It's actually a, what's it called? 100% Indian Highland wool. It does get a bit itchy when it goes on my forehead, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me so much. I'll just pull it up. Let me show you. I mean, if anybody's out there who does have a knitting machine and would like to know how to make these, let me know, please. And I will write down the notes. It's just so hard to do it sometimes, but I will. I got out a couple things that I need to do the notes and put it on my Ravelry page and share. So yeah, it's really nice, and I've gotten lots of compliments on it. It was really, really easy. I knitted it from starting, not like you knit a hat in a tube at all, but I started on the side like this. So I cast on stitches this way, and then I knitted it in around like that until it measured the measurement that I needed it to have to fit me right. And then I kitchenered stitches because I put the yarn on. I started it with the waist yarn, and then I put the end of the yarn on waist yarn, and then I kitchenered. You could see a bit of a line right there where I did it. I might have done it too tight, but that's okay. I just know where the back is, and there's really no seam. There's no seam at all, as you can see. You can even wear it this way. I did throw it in the washing machine and dry machine a little bit just to get it a bit more felted, so it could, you know, sit nicely. And it's really nice. So that's where the seam is, but because it's kitchenered, there's not really seam. And then I picked up the stitches and did a I-cord. You can see I picked up the stitches. I did an I-cord. And it looks lovely. And I had more yarn left. I still have a little bit left. I decided to make matching mitts, which I've worn a couple of times. And also same way I did it. You see how the stitches are going. So I did it sideways. I started up here, I knitted it, then I did the short row for the thumb. And I need to try to make gloves this way too, because I make gloves in another way, but I think this might work, making gloves like this way, knitting them this way instead of starting up here and knitting them that way. I will try and I will see if it works. I like to experiment, and if I have an idea in my head, I like to try it. I'm not afraid to try things. I will try stuff, and if it doesn't work out, then I will just rip it out. And that's fine. There is a bit of a hiccup right here because I somehow, when I was kitchenaire, that could go on this glove. When I was kitchenairing it, doing the kitchenaire stitch, I am talking all crazy. One stitch, I had an extra stitch that didn't fit with another one, so a little hiccup, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me at all. And they're nice. I like them a lot. And I did make a pair for my daughter, and then I made a couple pairs for, oh, I have to show this one pair. I made a couple pair for my friends for Christmas gifts. I do still have 2 that I haven't given it to them. But yeah, I bet you can make gloves like this. It makes the thumb longer, and then either mittens. You can also make mittens next time. Maybe next time. But very lovely yarn. I really like. It's affordable too. I got it on sale. I did get this yarn on sale. I usually, if I order something for Pearl Soho, I'll wait for sales because they do have stuff on sales. I don't buy it in full price because they'll often have sales. And this is a lovely yarn. I have 2 sweater quantities plus 1 hang that I want to do for color work. And put this over here. And then my husband has asked me to make him a neck warmer. He runs, and he wanted something to pull over his neck in merino wool. So this is a merino wool. This was from something that I took apart. I can't remember. It was. I know this is not super wash, so I know I'm not going to be able to throw it in a washing machine. It's either 100% merino or merino with nylon, but I don't think it's super wash, so I'll have to make sure I don't throw it in the washing machine. So I made this one first, then this one turned out a little too short for him. He wanted it longer. Let me show you. But I'm like, thank you for the idea, because this is lovely if you're going sledding and you need something. This was a 1x1 rib, and I made it on my knitting machine. It didn't take long at all, maybe half an hour. Stitching up the stitches on the side was probably longer than, no, it's not longer, but the 1x1 rib takes longer to knit than the regular flat knit. Plus you gotta be really careful not to drop some stitches. It's complicated. There's 2 beds that you have side by side like this, and the needles go side by side like this, and then they'll purl and knit. That's if you're doing purls and knits, but if you're only doing stockinette, then you just use 1 bed. So it's very stretchy. It's very nice. I like it. So I'm glad that I got to have one, because this was too short for him. He liked it, but he wanted it longer. So I made him another one. This one's 2 different yards in here. You can see the difference. This might have nylon in it, and this might not. I like this one, though. I like the feel of it. I just like how buttery it is, and it's thicker than this one. But he's been wearing it. He loves it. He says it works great for his, when he runs. I said, does the wind get through it? He said, no, not at all, because it's so long. I think it's like 22 inches long. And he likes it. You can see the difference. I used some yarn that I took something apart that didn't work out, and I couldn't remember what the yarns were, but I do like this one a lot. So this one is made with the same yarn as this one, because I had a bit left over of that one, so I just continue it. And yeah, see, there's a bit of a mistake there, because I had to go back and with my needle just stitch over it, because it was a thin part of the thread. I don't know what happened to it. It was ripped, but I'm glad it didn't fall apart. So I was glad that it worked like that. So he doesn't care. He wears it when he's running, and he likes it a lot. It's so long. It's nice. All right, so this is all the stuff that I'm sure this is all that I've finished this year. I know I have a couple more mitts that I did. I have this really pretty one. You know what? Let me show it to you. So this one's also made with a yarn that I'm not sure, but I know it's merino wool. It's undyed merino wool. I don't know if it has, I don't think this one's the one that has nylon in it. It doesn't feel like it. But same way I made mine, except instead of doing the stockinette, I did this little trick that I learned on YouTube from someone. You joined it together and then you knit while joining them together, and it gives this little pretty braid in it. They're so cute. So yeah, these ones are a bit longer. Yeah, they're longer than my red ones, and they're really pretty. This is a Christmas gift, supposed to be a Christmas gift for somebody. I think I'm gonna see her this next week and I'll give it to her. But they turned out really cute, really easy, really fast, and lovely. So yeah, and it's merino wool, undyed. All right, let's talk about, I am excited because I do have a lot of work in progress that I've been working on. I'm gonna start with these socks first. These are my, so this yarn right here is Heritage sock yarn, fingering weight, and this one, I believe this one was from Hobby Lobby. A couple years ago I bought it and I had it in my stash, and I decided to, I already used a little bit for another pair of socks last year, and then I decided to do something pretty. This is the same socks that I showed you earlier that I finished, the same idea, and inspired by Instagram. Thank you, Instagram, for inspiring me. I usually, when I know how to make something and I just kind of, I don't care if it looks exactly, I will use the idea, the inspiration. I don't always buy a pattern, but I do buy patterns, and I like to support smaller businesses, smaller designers too. But I did not buy a pattern because I knew how to make them, and I know my sock size, because I always have to customize things for myself, especially with clothing, sweaters, because I am smaller over here than most people are. So yep, these ones been on my needle since last year. Not much done. I do want to finish them and I do want to wear them, but I might give these to my daughter because they're a bit tight over here. The ribbing fits me better and stretches better than the stockinette. But what I did is I cast on 60 stitches for these. I did a E-wrap cast on my needle, not like a regular traditional cast on that you do. I'll have to show it one day if anybody's interested. So it's easier to pick the stitches up and put them together when you're casting it on this way. And then instead of going back, and some people do it by just going with the needle and stitching it, I just pick up the needles and continue, not needles, pick up the yarn and continue knitting. And I did 2 rows of 2 stripes, stockinette, and then I did a 3x1 ribbing over here and a slip stitch heel and gusset, and then decreasing here. Yeah, so these are my socks that I need to finish this year. No, I need to finish soon. Very, very soon. Just gonna put it over in my bag over here. So that was it. And then I ordered some yarn from Knit Picks. They had it on sale, I believe. I got a whole pack. 10 hangs of 100 grams DK weight undyed yarn. So this is 100 undyed sock yarn. I believe it's 80 merino wool. No, it's not merino wool. It might be Highland wool. And then 100, and then 20 nylon. And it's DK. And I've never made socks in DK weight yet. And I did have some mini skeins that I used to order every month. They're different colors, so I just put a couple stripes in here. And I'm not making, I should go back and do a slip heel. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to do a slip stitch heel, because I know I'm going to like that better for sure. So I'm going to do a slip stitch heel. I am not following a pattern. I believe I cast on 52 stitches. It fits great. It stretches because the way that I do my cast on, and it stretches a lot. So yeah, it's great. I like it. Can't wait to finish a pair of DK socks. And I'm using size 3mm needles. And for those other socks, the ones that I just showed you, I'm using 2.5. No, 2.25. Yep, 2.25. I don't know if I need it. Oh, yeah, I mentioned. Okay, so here's another one. I already shown this one before, but I took that one apart and I restarted it again because I wasn't going to do it, but then I decided that I do want it, that color, half and half triangles wrap. And then I'm going to add another color. It's not much. It's my project that I do whenever I feel like it. Like sometimes at night I'll do a couple of rows, because for now the rows are pretty long, because I actually cast on 190 stitches this time, and I'm using 3.25mm needles. And I do use my Clover interchangeable needles because I have a set that I like. So yeah, this is my half and half triangles wrap. The yarn is from Pearl Soho, and it's linen quill in poppy seed, I believe. I don't have the band for it, but I think no, why am I saying poppy seed? Mustard seed, yeah, I think so. It's mustard seed. Yep. So this is my thing that I'm just picking it up whenever I want to. I've showed this one before. It's not finished yet, but I know that it's not going to take me much to finish it. Couple of days and it could be finished. It just needs one sleeve and a little bit more length, because I already did one sleeve. So this is also another pattern that I am not following. Another sweater or cardigan. It's actually a cardigan that I'm making without following a pattern. This is going to be a drop shoulder, not a drop shoulder, but this construction like this, sort of like a raglan, but not so much. So because you increase every single row on the sides, and then you increase every other row for the sleeve, and it looks like a, what do they call it, a set-in sleeve. So I finished this sleeve, and it's sitting. I haven't picked it up in a couple of weeks, but I have to finish it because the sleeve does not take long. So this yarn I'm using, it's a blown yarn from Drops. It's alpaca, wool, and nylon, and I don't know, it's pretty thick, but it's really, really light. It's light, and it's this light brownish colors. You can see I am into beige and brown colors, and I am using US 7 size needles, 4.50mm needles. And I am making a long cardigan for myself. Oh, I did finish another. Did I have a sweater that I made for my daughter? So far it's up to here, I think. I just want to make it a bit longer. So it's sort of like a coat looking cardigan. And I might put sleeves in it. I'm not sleeves, pockets. I might not, but I might want to, because I want it to be like a coat. And here is I mean, it gives you a really nice fabric. It really does. It's not blocked, so that's why you can see a little bit of messy stitches. But hopefully it looks nice when I block it. It's a really nice fabric. It feels really soft because it says alpaca and wool in it. And nylon, of course. So it's like a little tube, nylon tube, and then they blow the yarn through it. It's really fuzzy yarn. It's really good. I just need to finish it so I can wear it soon. And here's another one. This is a crochet blanket that I'm making, and I've had it for a couple of months, I believe. I know I shared a little bit of it last time I recorded, but that one I took it all apart. I frogged it. It wasn't fun frogging this yarn because this is a linen quill, and it's not superwash, so it's a really nice yarn. And I restarted it in another way. Isn't this lovely? I just love how this turned out. I am working with fingering weight yarn, and I am working with 3mm needles. I guess the number is D. And two different colors. Linen. So I believe this one is nutmeg, and this one might be mushroom something. I think so. And it's finger and weight. So this is my first. I'm gonna use 2. So for each color, I'm gonna use 200 grams. So it'll be 400 grams. That's all I have. And I hope this gives me a pretty nice size, either wrap or sort of like a blanket, lap blanket. It's not gonna be very big, but it's gonna be wide, and it could be used as a wrap or a little blanket, smaller blanket. But I might order another hanks of each color and make it bigger, because I think right here might be like about 30 grams left. Not 40 for sure, but about 30 grams left of each color. And I already have this much. Do you see how the color changes? So this is one side, and this is another side. I did purchase this pattern on Ravelry. I will share it in my notes, and if you like it, then you can look it up and see it. This is really easy pattern. What you do is you knit back and forth, and you're supposed to cut the yarn each color, because you change colors each row, not 2 rows, but each row is the different color. So you would have to cut the yarn, but instead of cutting a yarn, I didn't want to cut the yarn because I'm usually this is my problem. I frog things often if things don't work out, if I don't like it. So I just left it like this. And then if I continue and I love it, which I love it, and I think I'm going to continue, I will cut it after it's all done. That way I'm not wasting yarn, because this is a beautiful yarn. And look at this pattern. It's just gorgeous. Either a wrap, like a big shawl kind of wrap. I mean, it would, like, I could just be done and it could be a beautiful scarf, but I'm not, because I want it to be a blanket. But this is just beautiful. So beautiful. And this yarn is, it's a bit rustic. It's lovely yarn. I love this yarn. I have I have a V-neck sweater, and I also have a cardigan that kind of felted a bit. So I have lots of this yarn in my stash to use for other projects. Okay, so that was, I got 2 more. I got 2 more that I'm working on, and they're in this bag. So this yarn right here, this is a self-drafted cardigan that I'm making, and it's a raglan, and I cast on to the amount of stitches that I did. I do have a pattern that I bought for like a raglan cardigan that I made before, and I just used the same numbers for that. It was a different yarn, so I just used that numbers because I wanted it to be a little bit oversized, because it's gonna be a cardigan, and it's rustic. It is rustic yarn I ordered from Etsy on Home Yarns or Yarn Home. And I know that someone else orders from their website too. It's We Grow Wild. Martina, her name. She orders from that yarn. But before, you know, I ordered from that shop a long time ago, and I love their yarn too. And I have lots of yarn from that shop too. So yeah, it's rustic. It's um I'm okay. I'm 100% okay with rustic wool. I have a cardigan made in Flotulopi yarn, and I wear it on. I usually wear all my sweaters on just tank tops. Not even this one is a t-shirt that I'm wearing it, but tank tops, or even without a tank top, touching my skin all the time. And I'm almost never bothered by any yarn. Sometimes I do at the end of the day, like around my neck right here, it will start bothering me, and then I'm like, okay, time to change. But I know that this one's not gonna be, because I have a couple different cardigans and sweaters and rustic yarns. I don't have that many in superwash yarns. I have a couple, but I don't like the superwash so much. But look at the fabric. The fabric is so lovely. So it's either a gray color or like an oatmeal-y color. To me, it looks more like an oatmeal color. It looks beige or gray. I don't know. It just has an undertone. It's just so pretty. Not much on it done yet, but I have split it for sleeves, and I am working on a body, which is going to be a long-term project because it's knit and purl, and it's going to take me a while to finish it. And I think I'm going to do a double knit band to make it look nice. So this will take a while, but it's okay with me because I wanted it. Even if I finish it for the fall, next fall, it'll be great because I'll get a lot of wear of it out of it, because I do love I only wear my sweaters and my so that was 100 grams. So I have 300 grams of that yarn. I hope I'll have enough. And I think it's 260 meters per 100 grams. We will see if I have enough. If not, I'll have to go back and order some more. Last project I'm working on, and that's it. For the first time in my life, I have decided to try. I do have this yarn, but in a summer yarn, but I haven't used it yet. This brand yarn, it's Garn yarn. Sundas Garn. This one's alpaca, and it is a 50 grams, 400 meters, so it's lace weight, 100 grams alpaca yarn. I ordered from, I will share the website if you're interested. This is the wrong yarn. I will share the website and the colors too, because I can't remember what the colors are. The numbers, so the number here says 7281 for the alpaca. It's not a green color, it's more like let me see if I can, I think this, yeah, that might be the true. So this is the alpaca. And this one is Tin Pergent. I can't read. I don't know what language this is. Oh, I'm silly. Norwegian wool, produced in Norway. 100% Norwegian wool. This one's forest green. I remember that color. Since I ruined my green cardigan, and I also have another green. I thought I didn't like green, but for some reason I do. And I have a couple things in green. But I ordered this green, and it was it wasn't like a planned thing. I just went and ordered it. And I also wanted to get the a catalog with all the patterns, but they didn't have it. So I ordered the yarn anyways. I ordered another catalog, and I'm hoping that I can get my hands on that catalog soon, because they'll let me know when it's in stock. But I got a sweater quantities of this yarn, So there's going to be 3 balls of this 50 grams wool and 5 balls of the Norwegian wool. They're all 50 grams. This one is, it's fingering weight, so it's 105 meters per 50 grams. Very generous. And the pattern I'm doing is called the River sweater. So it's all over cabled, same cable. Since I already did this one, I'm like, this is gonna be easy peasy. And I love it. I love it. I started it almost right away when it came in, and it's a raglan cable, and I'm close to splitting for sleeves. So it's a 6-stitch cable, and I already picked up and did the neck, because you don't start with the neckband, you just start with casting on for the sweater, and then you pick up for the neckband, which I have not done that yet by hand knitting any, because I always start with the neck. This time I decided to follow the pattern, just do what they told me, and I love the way this was without the short rows. You just cast on for the sweater, and then you added more and more stitches, and then you cast on more stitches, and then joined in a circle, and then you increase for the, oh, sorry about that. And it looks lovely. I know the 2 colors aren't exact the same colors. For some reason I did that. I don't know why. Silly me. They weren't exact same colors, but they're both different colors. The alpaca and the wool, Norwegian wool, is different. I don't know. You might be able to see a bit of a variegation there. But it's lovely. It feels so nice. It's so warm. I'm hoping to get this done before, close to March, beginning of March, and wear it for a couple of weeks, and then put it away for next year. But this is so lovely. Yep, I think this is it. That's all I have. All of my work in progress. There's a couple things that I haven't touched. I think I have a shawl that I haven't touched at all. And yeah, thank you. If you, yeah, this was my yarn acquisitions that I got. The most expensive sweater quantities yarn that I have bought. That was a lot, because you had to buy 2 different yarns. It's like 2 different yarn quantities of, like, for 2 different sweaters, but put them together and you just come up with 1 sweater. So this will be my most expensive sweater I've made, because I usually don't spend that much. So I think it was $100. It ended up being $100 for the yarn, plus $8 for the pattern and shipping. So this will be a loved one, will last forever. It's rustic, it's not super wash. I love it, and I will wear it often. I'm sure I will not want to take it off. And I am gonna follow the pattern and make it to the pattern. I might make it a little bit smaller. I might, probably will, because I cast on for the extra small. Yeah, I cast on for extra small. Somebody's coming to say hi. I am almost done. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.